Right guys, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video I'm going to be taking a first look at a new tool. Quick disclaimer, this tool was actually sent to me free of charge. I'm not being sponsored by the company, I'm not being paid to give a positive review. I've just been asked to make a video, and for those of you that know me, you know that if I don't like something I'm going to let you guys know. I do a lot of budget tool reviews on this channel and I like to give my honest opinion. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video. So the tool in question is the Jellas 750 watt belt sander. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, we've already seen that. I know Carl over at Carl Pope Woodcraft done a review on this, and he also done, I think it was the orbital sander. So I'm not expecting you to sit through this review if you've already seen it, but this is more for the people that might not be subscribed to his channel or just haven't seen it. So enjoy the video. Right, so you can see it doesn't come in any fancy packaging. It's a real simple box. It's got a picture of the belt sander on it. Jellas belt sander, 240 volts. Sanding belt size 76 by 533 millimeters. So without further ado, let's open the box and see what's inside. So first up, you've got your usual instruction manual. Always worth reading that to familiarise yourself with the tool. Admittedly, I don't always do that. Comes with two metal clamps. You can actually clamp it to a workbench and use it like a static disc and belt sander. A small dust port for attaching your shop vac. Comes with some belts. I think I read somewhere it comes with 10 sanding belts. We've also got this dust bag for collecting the dust if you're not using a shop vac. That's just got a simple zip on it which you can open for emptying. And then we have the tool itself. First impressions, feels quite well built, fairly heavy, made of solid ABS plastic I assume, with rubberized grips that feel quite nice in the hand. So one thing that does impress me with this company is the fact they don't skimp out on their power cords. Now, not only is this a decent length, being 3 meters in length, it's actually a real nice quality cable with a rubbery feel, so you can tell it's kind of higher quality rather than real rubbish. So that's always a plus as far as I'm concerned. Not sure how well it'll pick this up on camera, but you can see it's quite a nice cable. So there's not really a lot to show on the belt sander. It's quite simple to use. Start off on the back, you've got your dust port. On the bottom, you've got your rollers. This is your drive roller, which turns the belt. You've got a rear grip and a front grip. On the rear grip, you've got your trigger, and on the opposite side, you've got a button. So when you squeeze the trigger, if you press the button, you can let go of the trigger and the tool will still operate. Just means you don't have to hold the trigger all the time you're using it. On the front grip, you've got your variable speed dial. Goes from 1 right up to 6. To remove or fit a belt, you've got a little lever on the side. You just open that up, get your belt, put it over, and then push the lever back in, and that holds your belt in place. and this dial is for the belt tracking. So if I give you a quick example, if you watched what happens to the belt when I turn this dial, as you can hear, it does get quite loud. And that's all there is to it. So if you want to clamp the belt sander to the bench, you'll see there's various holes on the side, and on the clamp you've got this bar. So you just insert the bar part of the clamp into the hole. It'd be advisable to use 2 clamps. Put your clamps on and then make sure you do them up tight, because the last thing you want is for this to go flying across the flipping room. And now you have a stationary belt sander. You can also see that on the top you've got these 2 raised sections, and that's where the belt sander actually sits on when you put it on a bench, and that just allows you to actually sit it flat. Those of you that have been subscribed to this channel for a while will know what this is. This is the hotel skirting board that I salvaged. I had quite a few lengths of this. In fact, that's what I built my shelving and shallow cabinets above the mitre station with. But it's got this hard coating on it. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm assuming it's some specialist paint, like non-fire or whatever, and it's quite hard to sand off. So I'm going to give it 2 tests. The first one being just using the dust bag, and you can see that the bag at the moment is completely empty. So I'm going to attach the bag, and I'm going to try see how long it takes to actually sand the finish off, and then I'll swap over. I haven't got the correct adapter to fit my Hoover, but I'm going to see if I can bodge it up so I can attach the Hoover, and then we'll give that a go and see what the dust extraction's actually like, bearing in mind my Hoover isn't brilliant. So I'm going to use the belt that come with it, which is 80 grit, and I'm going to put it on. We'll start off on number 3 and we'll see what it's like. So already you can see there's quite a lot of dust coming off. But although this feels quite rough, it did actually remove the paint fairly quickly. I've only done a little bit, so I'm going to take the bag off and we'll see what is actually in the bag. actually, even though I've only sanded down a little bit, that is quite a considerable amount of dust. I mean, these are an absolute nightmare, these skirting boards, to work with, because it just creates so much dust. So I'm not sure if this is a fair test for this, but there is still some trapped in there. But you can see on that little test, it did actually collect quite a large amount of dust. Quite a considerable pile. But you can also see on this piece, there's quite a lot that didn't make it into the bag. So for the second test, I've got my pneumatic Henry Hoover. This isn't really designed to be used in woodworking shops. This is more of a household vacuum, but it's all I've got at the moment. And what I've done is I've taped the small dust port that comes with a belt sander to the end of the hose. And bear in mind, this doesn't suck that well, because the filters on these just seem to get clogged up really quick, which lessens the amount of suction. So if you had a proper shop vac, it'd probably be a lot better. But this is the only test I can really do. So let's see if the Hoover works any better. I've also emptied the Hoover, so that should be good. So let's attach it to the belt sander. Let's give this another whirl. Right, so even with my lousy vac attached to it, that is pretty damn impressive if you ask me. There's a little tiny bit barely noticeable on the bench. Hardly any on top of here. The belt sander itself isn't covered this time. So it's actually collected, I would say, 95% of the dust. So, happy with that. Right guys, so let's sum up what we think of it, or what I think of it. First impressions, I'm quite impressed with it. Sands, with the 80 grit on there, I mean, it flew through the finish on them skating boards. So, overall, works well, looks well, feels good in the hand, does what it says it does. Dust bag, although it works and did pick up a reasonable amount of dust, there was still, as you can see from the video, quite a bit elsewhere on the sander, the work surface. But even with my lousy vac attached, it did actually collect 95%, if not more, of the dust. So if you had a decent shop vac, it probably worked really well. So quite impressed with that. So overall, for 50 quid, I would say it's definitely worth it if you're in the market for a budget belt sander. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to go and check out this or any of their other products, such as the detail sander, random orbital sander, belt sanders. I've actually got 2 belt sanders. This one, the 750 watt and 1000 watt. So check out the link if you're in the market. Otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one, guys. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below. If you're new here and this is the first video you've seen on the channel and you like woodworking, DIY, tool reviews, that sort of stuff, then why not consider subscribing? I'd really appreciate that. So, as always, thanks for watching and you'll see me in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys.